But he's starting it over there. Yeah, he'll turn that off and start. Dear family and friends, thank you all for being here today, both in person and those joining via the live stream from all over the world. Today we come together to honor the life of my beloved brother, Aakash, to find comfort in each other as we say our final goodbyes. The last few days have been a whirlwind of emotions for me, and I want to take a moment to share something personal before we begin. When I first received the news of Akash's passing, I was in Norway with 3 friends. I got a call from Papa, and he said, Aakash is no more. I was stunned, unable to comprehend what I had just heard. In that moment, I felt like the ground had been pulled out from underneath me. I became numb, my thoughts frozen, my heart racing uncontrollably. I told my friends I need some air and walked out, my body on autopilot as my mind struggled to catch up with the reality that was crashing down on me. I found myself at an intersection in Oslo, panting, trying to calm the panic that had gripped my chest. I frantically researched for flights, knowing I had to get back home as soon as possible. After a quick shower, I headed straight to the airport. One of my friends insisted on coming with me, and I was grateful for that support. At the airport, I sat in the lounge, sipping some sparkling wine, trying to steady my nerves, but the whole time I was in disbelief. My mind refused to accept what had just happened. I couldn't even bring myself to call my mom. I didn't know what to say, how to break her heart when mine was already shattered. All I could do was keep whispering, no, 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 wishing desperately that it wasn't true, that somehow I could turn back time and have him with us again. I tell you this because I want you to know how much Aakash meant to me, how much he means to all of us. His sudden departure has left a void that can never be filled, but today we come together to celebrate his life, to share our memories, and to support each other through this immense loss. Now let me share with you the plan for today's ceremony. We'll begin with prayers, followed by Hindu puja and rituals, which will last for 30 to 45 minutes. After the rituals, I'll take a moment to share some memories of Aakash, reflections on the incredible person he was. Then Akash's daughter, Aradhya, will honor her father with a beautiful speech and a piano performance, a piece that I know Aakash would have loved to hear. Following her tribute, we'll have a few more eulogies, and anyone who wishes to speak will have an opportunity to do so. This is a time for us to remember Aakash, to share our stories, and to find comfort in each other's words. Finally then, at 10:45, we'll proceed to the crematorium just behind us through that door. That's where we'll perform the final rites. This will be our last chance to say goodbye before we lay Aakash to rest. I want to thank each one of you for being here, for your support, for your love that you've shown. Aakash touched so many lives, and it's clear from the outpouring of messages, calls, and your presence today, and just how much he was loved. So we're going to begin the puja ceremony in some time. And I think for now, we'll have Aradhya. Aradhya, you want to come, darling? It's here.
Hi everyone, thank you for being here today. My name's Aradia, and I want to tell you about my stepdad who loved me with all his heart. He wasn't there when I was born, but he stepped into my life and became my hero. He made me laugh with his funny jokes and taught me so many things. He loved to do research and always knew the answer to my questions. We both loved animals so much. We have 2 cats, Mowgli and Bagheera, and a dog named Akela. Akela was a special surprise from my stepdad on Christmas because he knew how much I wanted a dog. Even though having a dog meant a lot of work, he trained Akela and made sure we all had a lot of fun together. One of my favorite memories was our trip to Colorado. We went horse riding, which was so exciting. Aakash got the big alpha female, which was named Heidi, and I got a tiny teenager, which was named Kiowa. And my mom got Kiowa's mom, Daisy, who also went bike riding. We also went bike riding, and I remember how Aakash encouraged me to ride up the mountain. Those adventures are some of my most special memories with him. On Father's Day, I wrote him a special message that said, "You're my stepped up dad, because you stepped up when I needed you." He always made me feel special and loved, even though we weren't related by blood. I'm going to play a song on the piano for him now. I hope it shows how much I love him and how much I'm going to miss him. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Aradhya. Akash, where are you? I miss you so much. Please come back. Your sudden departure has left me questioning so many things and reevaluating my priorities in life. Memories of you keep flashing before my eyes. You entered my life when I was almost 2 years old, and soon enough, you became my partner in everything. From our earliest days, you gave me the courage and strength to push boundaries. If someone at school bullied me, I'd tell him, just wait until my brother shows up tomorrow to stand up to you. We used to make art and craft to sell to each other, but one day we accidentally used some important papers of Papa's. When he scolded us, you discovered that the paper in something that I'd sold you for 2 rupees and 50 paisa. And you didn't even ask for that money back. Later, we started our first business selling comics. We got the idea after seeing someone on the street selling something we liked. We bought one comic and then sold it to Loveleen for a profit of 1 rupee and 50 paisa. Akash, you were the one who fought to get our first computer at home. I still remember how determined you were, convincing everyone that having a computer was not just a luxury, but a necessity. That computer became the center of so many of our childhood memories. We spent hours playing video games together, especially baseball. But soon enough, I realized you were getting way better than me. Eventually, I stopped playing. While you kept improving, you just didn't play for fun. You mastered the games, even building your custom computer that could handle the bandwidth and response times you needed. You made it onto leaderboards of gamers, wearing your headset and playing for hours on end. Even the night you left us, you were doing what you loved, playing on your Steam Deck. When I had to make a tough decision to quit my job and start our company, Copper Digital, you were the first person I turned to for advice. I still remember the thoughtful questions you asked, helping us logically work through the decision. You encouraged me to take a leap, and I know that without your support, I might never have taken that path. It was one of the best decisions that we ever made together, and I'll always be grateful for your wisdom and belief in me. Taking your 2 cats to India was a crazy move, but looking back, I'm glad you did it. It's funny to think that you forgot to renew your visa, but that turned out to be a blessing in disguise. Going back to India in 2018 helped you secure your L1 visa, which sped up your green card process. Those nearly 2 years in India were so important for you. You built a strong community there, reconnected with our roots, and true to your nature, you didn't care about the money. Your entire salary in India just went to mom's account, and you never asked for it back. One thing for sure, whatever you touched, you had a knack for breaking. You broke so many cars, both in India and in the States. You never seemed to care about the material things. What mattered to you was the experience, the journey, and the people you were with. Like that time I asked you to wait until I finished my meeting before driving the Audi, since it was our first time driving an automatic car. But you couldn't wait, and sure enough, you took off without a second thought. When you went to IIT Madras, Papa gave you as much money as you wanted, no questions asked. You were always responsible, but money never held any value for you beyond what it could do for others. You bought a bullet motorcycle at IIT, but you never brought it back. You just left it there. Moving on to the next chapter of your life without a second glance. The kite miscalculation. This is another incident that I remember. Akash, you were full of big ideas, but not all of them were winners. I remember when we were really young and decided to pool our money to buy kites for the Indian Independence Day. We thought we were being smart, doing the math to figure out how many kites we should get, but we missed a few important assumptions and ended up with enough kites to last us for many years. It was a classic example of your enthusiasm, sometimes getting ahead of practicality. But even in those moments, you taught me the value of dreaming big and not being afraid to make mistakes. Life is full of lessons, and you showed me the best way to learn is by doing. There were times when you literally saved my life. I recall one incident which I would never forget. The day that I was curious about what was on the other side of the fence and decided to jump over it. Only this fence was on the third floor. I screamed as I realized the danger, and while Mom was running toward me, you, just at 4 years old, on the second floor, instinctively knew what to do. You rushed over and pulled my leg down, saving from a potential fatal fall. When everyone asked how you knew what to do, you simply said, "This was my act of service for my brother." That moment encapsulates who you were, someone who acted out of love and instinct to protect those who you cared about. You were my greatest supporter. You never tolerated anyone's critical feedback about me. You were my biggest believer, always standing up for me and defending my abilities. Whether it was my talent for selling, designing, sharing information, sometimes extra, or convincing people, you made me feel like I could conquer the world. You had an unwavering faith in me, and that belief became the source of strength for me. From you, I learned the power of unconditional support and how it can inspire someone to achieve more than they've ever thought possible. I think we're almost ready for the puja ceremony, so keep going. The spark of competition. Aakash, honestly, I can honestly say that the reason I started working hard was because of you. When I saw you get selected for IIT, I was in my 5th semester of undergraduate, and that moment I knew I had to step up and prove myself. We had this healthy competition that pushed me to aim higher and work harder. It wasn't about outdoing each other, it was about making each other better. In you, I found not just a brother, but a role model who motivated me to be the best version of myself. Even when you first came into this world, I was jealous of you. I would tell Mom to leave you and lift me in her arms. And it wasn't enough that she held me. I wanted her to stand up and carry me, leaving you on the side. I wanted all the love she had, not realizing that there was more than enough for both of us. That early jealousy shaped our relationship in ways I didn't understand at that time. But looking back, it taught me about sharing, love, and how deeply bonded we were. Despite my early feelings, you grew into something who was always there for me. And I realized that having a brother like you meant having more love in my life, not less. Aakash, you were a huge Reddit fan, always diving deep into research and coming back with the best answers to any questions. Your curiosity and knack for finding solutions were unmatched. Whenever I needed to know something, I could count on you to dig through the forums and find the perfect response. Your dedication to getting things right extended beyond just research. You were so amazing with all of the people that I was with. They all knew how much you meant to me, and they respected the bond we shared. The bottomless stomach. You had an incredible appetite, Aakash. No matter how much food was prepared at home, it seemed like it would be gone the next day. I used to joke that you had a bottomless stomach. Now that I think about, I wonder who's going to eat all of that food and finish it now. Your love for food was just another reminder of how much life you brought into every moment. The environmentalist. You cared deeply about the environment. You never let us buy plastic bottles. Now I can have it. No matter how inconvenient it was, you were always conscious of the impact we had on the world around us, and you made sure that we lived in a way that reflected that care. Your dedication to environment was one of many ways you showed your love for the planet and those who lived in it, those who lived on it. During the pandemic, when there were huge shortages, you insisted that we buy this Cadillac. You had a way of pushing me to do things I might not have considered, and more often than not, you were right. Your influence on me was so strong, even in the smallest of decisions. The Cadillac will always remind me of your persistence and knack of knowing what's best. Before Copper Digital became what it is today, you came up with a different name, iZanki, and even designed the first logo. I had even registered the company under that name, but later we decided together to call it Copper, so that when I introduced our company, I could say copper as in the metal copper, and spell it out for clarity. You had a great sense of humor and knack for branding, and that decision shaped our company in more ways than we realized. With you around, Aakash, I always felt we could tackle anything. Together, we had so much power. You drove almost as well as I did, and your physical strength was incredible. You could lift anything. You were always there, ready to tackle whatever challenges came our way, and that gave me the confidence. We were a team, and with you by my side, I knew I could solve any problem whatsoever. When we were younger, Papa would take us to Talkatora Stadium for swimming. We spent all summer playing games in the pool. Those were such carefree days, riding on Papa's scooter to the pool and then taking the bus back home. Those moments were filled with joy and simple pleasures. Just you, me, and Papa enjoying the summer. You and I discussed everything, even down to how to smile and pose for those pictures. I remember us trying to figure out the best way to smile. It's such a small thing, but it shows how much we relied on each other for guidance, even on the most trivial matters. Your attention to detail and willingness to talk through anything made our bond so unique. I burst into tears when you were leaving for IIT Madras. I don't know why, but the thought of not having you around was overwhelming. Even though you were just a short flight away from Delhi, the idea of you being out of reach, even for a little while, felt like too much to bear. It was one of those moments when I realized how deeply connected we were and how much I would miss you. When I was leaving for the US for the first time, I cried a lot. I wasn't sure what the reason was, but looking back, I think it was because I knew I was going to miss you terribly. Even though I was embarking on a new journey, the thought of being so far away from you was heart-wrenching. You were my anchor, and being apart from you felt like leaving a part of myself behind. We shared so many milestones together, Aakash. We bought our first Tesla together. We were partners in the Forest House. When I had to leave that house after the divorce, you were right there with me, staying in a hotel without a single complaint. You were there when I signed the papers, supporting me through one of the toughest times of my life. You always had my back, no matter what. You never liked it when I played music in the morning. You were a night owl, and the early morning hours weren't your thing. But that never stopped me from bothering you, teasing you out of bed, and sharing those quiet moments at the start of the day. Even though we were different in that way, it was just another example of how our lives intertwined in every little detail. I used to tease you a lot, especially during our LTC trips with Vadwa uncle and Rajpal uncle and their kids. I even made up rhyming slogans just to get under your skin. I was pretty successful at that. Those playful moments were a big part of our relationship. They were how we showed love, even when it seemed like we were just joking around. Aakash, one of the most important lessons you taught me was the power of visualization in achieving goals. I remember how, when you first arrived in the US in 2013, you created this mental image that helped you stay disciplined. You told yourself that if you were caught speeding, they might send you back to India. Even though you knew it wasn't true, This visualization was so vivid that kept you from speeding for the first few years at least. It wasn't just about avoiding tickets, it was about setting a clear boundary for yourself and sticking to it. This approach helped you stay focused and disciplined in many areas of your life, and it's a lesson that I carry with myself till this day. As we reflect on Aakash's life and the deep bond I shared with him, there are several important lessons that those attending his funeral can take away. These lessons are a tribute to his memories, his values, the profound impact he had on everyone that knew him. Cherish and protect your loved ones. This was the lesson when he saved my life by pulling my leg when I was jumping over the fence. Aakash instinctively saved me from a dangerous situation when we were children. His act of love and protection is a reminder that our loved ones are our greatest treasures. We should always be ready to step up for them, just as Aakash did for me. Pursue life with passion and curiosity. Lesson from the Reddit researcher and the kite miscalculation. Aakash was curious, whether it was diving into research on Reddit or pursuing big ideas. Even if they didn't work out, his passion for learning and trying new things reminds us to live with curiosity and enthusiasm, embracing both successes and failures as a part of the journey. Next lesson, support and believe in others. Aakash was my biggest believer, always standing up for me, supporting all my endeavors. His unwavering faith in me teaches us the power of being there for others, offering encouragement and believing in their potential. Aakash never cared much for material possessions. What mattered to him were the experiences that people he shared with him. His perspective encourages us to focus on creating meaningful experiences rather than accumulating things. Live environmentally consciously. Aakash's commitment to environment, like refusing to buy plastic bottles, shows us the importance of being mindful of our impact on the planet. His actions remind us to live in a way that respects and protects our environment. Embrace the change and adaptability. Aakash's ability to navigate change, whether it was moving to India back or insisting on buying Cadillac during pandemic, demonstrates the value of adaptability. He teaches us to embrace change with an open heart, seeing challenges and opportunities for growth. Strength in togetherness. The bond that I shared with Aakash was a source of strength and confidence. His presence in my life reminds us of power of togetherness, how having someone by your side can make us feel capable of conquering anything. Find joy in small things. Lessons from the bottomless stomach and the smile debate. Aakash found joy in every moment, in everyday moments, whether it was finishing a big meal or discussing how to smile for pictures. His ability to find happiness in small things encourages us to appreciate and savor life's simple pleasures. Nurture relationships. Aakash was by my side during some of the most challenging times in my life. His loyalty and support highlights the importance of nurturing our relationships, being there for your loved ones when they need you the most. Last but not least, leave a positive impact. The morning music and him being the night owl. Even in little annoyances like my morning music routine, Aakash left a lasting impact on me. His life reminds us all that our actions, no matter how small, can have a significant effect on those around us. Aakash's life was filled with love, passion, and an unyielding support for those who he cared about. As we remember and celebrate him, these lessons can serve as a guide for us to live more fully, love more deeply, and support each other with the same spirit that Aakash showed every day. Thank you, everyone. Now we can do the puja.
सकलसृष्टिकारिणां ब्रह्मणोन्मीत्ये प्रालयश्रीश्वरद्वारा कल्पे वैवस्वरामन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे शतत्रेता द्वापरान्ते कलौ कलियुगसमुच्चारणे गोलोके क्रांचद्वीपामेरिकादेशामितौखण्डोत्तरे टेक्सासनाप्रान्ते भगवता श्रीरामसन्निकटे श्रीरामव्यासले इह पुनः पावमानविनित्रं नगरे ब्रह्मपुत्रासस्यश्रणामध्ये नन्नासमसुतामास्तमासे पुनर्त्रिमासे श्रावणमासे अग्निदिने शुभे विश्वकर्णे शुभमुहूर्ते शुभे वारे त्रयोदशां परिपूर्णतो अद्य दिने बृहस्पतिवासरान्तायाम् अद्येह कुशलसुगोत्रोत्पन्नायाम् आकाश नामधेयस्य
डल्ले भी बोलो डल्ले also
दलस्कोत्रोत्पन्नाय एषः दिवङ्गतात्मायाः आकाश सरीन नामस्य दिवङ्गतात्माय इहलोकपरलोकभवगोलोकसाय जगत्यार्थे तथा च दिव्यज्ञान दिव्या एषः सपत्निका सुपुत्रीणां आराध्यानां दिव्यायाः एषा सुपुत्रीणां सुपुत्राभावे सभ्रातस्य अरविंद नाम यशेषा ज्येष्ठभ्रातस्य ज्येष्ठभ्रातस्य एषः दिवङ्गतात्माय भगवत्सायुज्यमुक्तिकामया प्रथमपिण्डं ते मया दीयते तव प्रतिष्ठताम् हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिबालस्तास्मिन् शेतः शेताक्षो नस्ते रुद्रावस्पते करणायामवतानोत्पापादन्याः हरि ओम माँ गंगे चैवने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिंधुकावरी नमस्ते करुण गौरवस्वः तुलसी निर्जनसी केशवस्ति हरिप्रियः ओम त्वां गन्धर्वात्मस्त्वां यस्त्वां बृहस्पति त्वां लोकदेवः त्वां गन्धर्व हरि ओम अक्षन्नवेदं प्रियप्रियदो विश्वामित्राविष्णुतियोजानन्दते अक्षतास्तुश्रेष्ठा कुङ्कुमातिशोक्तां पुष्पाणि पूजातं कृगेयताम् हरि ओम तत्सत् विष्णु 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् विष्णु 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 प्रवचार शंकर चित्यां शरण अद्यदिनः तस्य कर्मणः एषा दिवङ्गतात्मायाः भगवद्गोलोकसायमुक्त्यार्थे द्वितीयपिण्डं विश्रामस्थले अद्यदिनः
Saturday morning, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sixth day.
अद्यदिनः प्रथमदिनपर्यन्ताय षष्ठमदिवसाय दिवङ्गतात्माया भगवद्गोलोकसायमुक्त्यार्थे तस्य आत्मचिरशान्त्यर्थे पूर्वगतानां पितॄणां स्मृत्वार्थे एषः दाहसंस्कारपरिसिद्ध्यर्थे द्वितीयपिण्डं ते मया दत्ते तव प्रतिष्ठताम् हरि ओम नाभ्यासीरन्तरिक्षं शास्त्रोत्राथालोकां कल्पयन् हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिबालस्तास्मिन् शेतः शेताक्षो नस्ते रुद्रापुष्पते कर्णायामवतानोत्पापादन्याः मध्यस्थे सत्वसृष्टिकारिणे ब्रह्मणोनि द्वितीयपरार्धे पूर्वचारसंख्यसूत्रानुसारेण अद्यदिनः बृहस्पतिवासरनितायां प्रथमदिनपर्यन्तं प्रथमद्वितीयचतुर्थपञ्चमषष्ठमदिवसाय दिवङ्गतात्मा भगवत्का गोलोकसायुज्य मुक्तिकामः तस्य आत्मात्मनाप्रसन्नाय सायुज्यमुक्त्यार्थे एषा तृतीयपिण्डं श्मशानस्थले ते मया दीयते तव प्रतिष्ठताम्। हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिलालस्तास्मिन् हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिलालस्तास्मिन् सीताचरणस्ते रुद्रापस्पते कर्णायामुत्तानोत्पापादन्याः और्वस्वासुजलेन परिसिञ्चयामि त्वां गन्धर्वाकनस्त्वां बृहस्पति ओम गन्धद्वारान्ध्रादर्शां पुष्पाङ्गरेष्णि ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतान्तान्भूतवैश्रियम् अक्षन्नव्यदन्तैरव्यदो पुष्पान्त्रानिष्ठमतियोजान्वितहरि अक्षतास्तुश्रेष्ठा कुङ्कुमवसोद्धा निरन्तां पुष्पाणि पूजा समर्पेताम् ओम अक्षन्नव्यदन्तैरव्यदो पुष्पान्त्रानिष्ठमतियोजान्वितहरि तुलसीमज्जन्नासि केशवश्रीहरिप्रियः। हरि ओम तत्सत् विष्णु विष्णु पूर्वचार्यसंकल्पसिद्ध्यानुसारेण अद्यदिनः एषः दिवङ्गतात्मा भगवद्गोलोकसायुज्यमुक्त्यार्थे प्रथमदिनपर्यन्ताय अद्यदिन षष्ठमदिवसाय श्रीसुदर्शनाय तस्य आत्मचिरशान्त्यार्थे हृदयाय चतुर्थपिण्डं ते मया दीयते तव प्रतिष्ठताम्। ओम हृदयाय नमः। हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिलालस्तास्मिन् सीताक्षरस्ते रुद्रापस्पते कर्णायामुत्तानोत्पापादन्याः ओम अक्षन्नव्यदन्तैरव्यदो पुष्पान्त्रानिष्ठमतियोजान्वितहरि अक्षतास्तुश्रेष्ठा कुङ्कुमविशोभिता जयान्तां पुष्पाणि पूजा समर्पेताम् ओम गन्धद्वारान्ध्रादशां पुष्पाङ्गरेष्णि ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतान्तान्भूतवैश्रियम् और्वस्वात्या तुलसीमृजन्नासि केशवश्रीहरिप्रियः। हरि ओम तत्सत् हरि ओम तत्सत् विष्णु 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 पूर्वचारसंकल्पसिद्ध्यानुसारेण कर्मणः परिसिद्ध्यार्थे एष दिवङ्गतात्मायाः पूर्वगतान् संस्तपितृपितामहान् प्रपितामहान् चतुर्पितामहान् समस्तज्ञातानाम् अज्ञातानां वंशजस्य पूर्वगतानां पितृपरिवारं सम्मिलित्वार्थे एषः दिवङ्गतात्मा चिरशान्त्यर्थे पञ्चमपिण्डं हरिदर्शन हरि श्रीहरिगति नारायणगति पुण्यलाभाय पंचपिण्डं प्रेमया हरि ओम हरि ओम शुद्धबालः सरशुद्धबालो मणिलालस्तास्मिन् सीताक्षरस्ते रुद्रापस्पते कर्णायामुत्तानोत्पापादन्याः स्वाहा प्रतिष्ठा सविर्वास्मीरो निकामिनः परजन्योपरिबलवतो न ओकदा प्रचन्दाम क्षेमो न कल्पन्ताम् मनोज्योतिर्ज्योतामाजस्पृष्टजनिमं फलोदरसंगङ्गातुरस्फेदेवासनं कामो प्रतिष्ठा ॐ मां एषः न शुद्धजलेन परिसिञ्चन् पूजयामि नमस्करं गन्धाक्षरपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि हरि ओम वां गन्धर्वनस्पां बृहस्पति वामोखरे सोमराजदां स्वामितः अक्षन्नमिदं त्रैकव्यदो पुष्पामिष्टमतियोजनं हरि नारायण सिंधु वात्सल्यगुणसागर येन लक्षगण्यप्राविणः ॐ नागमये च गोदावरि सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धुवै स्मशानं कुरु ॐ मा आकृष्णं सर्वमानन्दे संयुक्तं च हिरण्येन सविता तेन देवो व्यात्मनां पश्यन्नाम् इसको पूर्ण उसे परिक्रमा करके हाँ ठीक इसको खाई हरि ओम मां चेतीर्थानि पुत्रं शिकास्तानि कंगिनः ते काव्यं शास्त्रयोजनैव धन्यानि तन्वसि ओम मां चेतीर्थानि पुत्रं शिकास्तानि कंगिनः ते काव्यं शास्त्रयोजनैव धन्यानि तन्वसि मिक्सर को खराब ब्रेक कर जाएगा हरि ओम मां ज्ञानिकानि पापानि जन्मामृतां च तानि सर्वाणि शन्तो प्रक्षिणा पदे पदे ओम जयतीर्थानि पुत्रं शिकास्तानि कंगिनः एकादं शास्त्रयोजनैव धन्यानि तन्वसि ओम मां जयतीर्थानि पुत्रं शिकास्तानि कंगिनः एकादं शास्त्रयोजनैव धन्यानि तन्वसि पासंद्रानुष्मस्वाौ जलेष्मां रक्षत्मस्मोत्तेर्यादो गणितो वनस्पासात् स्थलेष्मायमानो व्यात्रिविक्रम के द्विस्वरूप दुर्गे सुरक्षात् प्रभो पायन समसुरितारि निमुञ्चते स्माकाशं दिशो गणितुर्नगंसिगर्भः रक्षत्र सोमा तुल्यकल्पः स्वन्तनितरवरा रामो द्विकोडे सवितुवासे लक्ष्मणो व्याद्वर्ता अक्षुष्मान् मामुग्धर्मलग्रात्मदान् नारायणपात्रमसासात् दत्तस्त्वैगात्रिगनाथ पायगुणशकुलकर्मन्नः सनत्कुमारोद्गादेवादयाशिषामं पद्देभिरणा देवर्षवर्या पुरुषार्थान्तात् कुर्मो हरिर्मां निर्यात् शेषात् धन्वन्तरे भगवान् पात्वेत्यादन्वात् वेदस्मृतात्मा यज्ञश्लोकादुतादनाथात् लोकनत्कोदुषादेन्द्रः द्वैपायनो भगवान् क्रोधात् पुत्रस्पाखण्डग्रहात् प्रमादात् कल्की कले कालनात् पात्रो धर्मावतार नाम कृष्णगुदयाप्रादव्यात् गोविन्द आसन्नवात् वेणुं नारायण प्राणदासक्तिर्मध्येन्द्रपाणि देवो प्राणी उदो धन्व सैन्द्रदामो मां दोषे ऋषिकेश उताराते स्त्रीको उद्वलनाभः श्रीवत्सधाम प्रदातविशापत्तु शैशवनादन दामोदरो व्यालं सन्दं प्रभाते विश्वस्वर भगवान् कालमूर्ते चक्रं गन्ताल दुग्ने भगवत्प्रयुक्तं गन्धग्गन्धग्दर्शनिमासु कृक्षमधावार्षकोतास जले शनिस्पर्शनिस्पृङ्गे निस्पृङ्गेरिस्पृङ्गप्रिया निमासु कृक्षमधावार्षकोतास जले शनिस्पर्शनिस्पृङ्गे निस्पृङ्गप्रियासि पुष्पाण्डवेन कृक्षरक्षो भूता ग्रहचूर्णचूर्णयारि मम या दानप्रभुत्प्रयत्नादि विशालता गौरवदृष्टिं धरेन्द्र विद्राव कृष्णपूर्तो विमसुरविधानिकम्पाय त्वं तिङ्गधारशब्दाशैलेन स्वप्रयुक्तो वंशं छिन्धि सक्षं चिचारमं सत्तं शाद सामगुणामृता चक्षुषां यन्नो भङ्गवत्केतुभ्यो नृभवच सविसर्गदंष्टुभ्यो भूतेभ्यो विवा सर्वाणि तानि भगवान् नामरूपास्त्रिगतनाथप्रयन्तु संसंसुतेन सरस्वतीविका गरुडो भगवान् स्वतस्तुभस्मनाक्रो रक्षस्कस्यभ्यो सक्षन्सुनामभि सर्वापद्गारिणां स्वयंधानिना बुद्धीन्द्रियमनस्कान्तान्त्वा सर्वभूषणां यथा हि भगवानेकौस्तुता सत्येनानि सर्वेयान्मसुभद्रवा यदैकात्मनभावनं विकल्परतस्वं भूषणालिङ्गकर्ते सत्यसमाया तेनैव सत्यमानेन सर्वज्ञो भगवान् हरि पातु सर्वेश्वरूपेण सदा सर्वगा विदेक्षुदक्षोदमसंधान्तर्भगवानार्षिमा प्राप्तं ऋतुभंशनेन स्वतेजसाग्रस्तसमस्ततेजा स्वतेजसाग्रस्तसमस्ततेजा ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सुशान्तिः भवतु। शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेभिः यतो यतः समीयसे ततो न अवेङ्कुरुषन्नः कुरुप्रजाभ्यो भयज्ञापशुभ्यः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः त्र्यम्बकं जजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् ऊर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं जजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् ऊर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। वहाँ पे दोनों पैर को ऐसे पकड़ के नाक पर लगा के प्रणाम करना। ओम अपराध शस्त्रभाजनं पतितं भीमवार्गोदरे भगतिं गतिप्रदा संसारणमग्ने ओम अकिंचनो नानिगति शरण्य तत्पादमूलं शरणं प्रपद्ये ओम नारायणया सिन्धो वात्सल्य गुणसागर येन रक्ष जगन्नाथा भोजनप्रादिनां कृष्णकृपालुत्तम भगतीनां प्रदा संसाराणामग्नानां प्रसीद पुरुषोत्तमः। हरि ओम। ओम अपराध शस्त्रभागम शक्तम युवाड़ बोधरे अतिमति प्रदा संसारण मध्य किंचनोगानि गति शरण तत्पाद मूलम शरणं प्रपद्ये ओम यतो यतः समयसे ततो न अवेक्षन्न गुरु प्रजा भवन्न शुद्धः व्योम शंकर पुनः स्वाते वैश्वविघ्नं
Now that the puja is done, the next step for us is to, if someone would like to say something, and you can come up. Otherwise, one by one, everyone can come and pay their respects before we take him to the for the last rites.
Namaste. So, I got to know Aakash about a year ago in one of our picnics in the picnic. Now, my first memory of him was him playing the guitar, and I remember Gunjan at that time too. And his passion for music was the first thing I noticed. And then we sort of connected over LinkedIn and just talking here and there. And this is deeply personal, that's why I'm here. Just a few months ago, he came to me, and I've been mentoring him in his career as well. So I know a lot about his talent and his potential. The passion that he had for the environment, I can vouch for that. I was supposed to meet him tomorrow for a session. So it is a crazy shock. That's why I'm here. I affirm everything that Arvind said about Aakash, just with my limited knowledge and time I spent with him. It's a great loss for the family, for all of us, people who have gotten to know him and adore him over the last several months, and honestly for the rest of the world, a great potential. I just wanted to share that, and deepest condolences to all of you.
Then, one by one from here, you can come and pay your respects. Then we'll take him for the final rites. So you can pick up the petals from over there, and then do a round, and then exit from that gate.
जजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं 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 जजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् हरिः ॐ सताशासन् परिदष्टैः सत्संविदाः कृताः देवाजितनन्तन्वाना अवद्रन् पुरुषं वसुन्म ॐ सुवर्तिसत्तैलविरीतेन सामान्पाते विनियोजितेन निराजयत्वा प्रमेया दीपेन दिव्येन दिवाप्रदेन दीपेन दिव्येन शुभप्रदेन Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. राम नाम सत्य है। 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 सब लोग बोलेगा राम नाम सत्य है। 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 ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतः क्लेशनाशाय श्रीगोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम नारायण दया सिंधो वात्सल्यगुणसागर येनं रक्ष जगन्नाथ भोजन्मापराधिनाम्। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कस्य दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। परिवर्तुभव्यं सुदाते रमेशो विघ्नं तदीयं परिवर्तुभव्यं सुदाते रमेशो विघ्नं तदीयं न गणतुवाणी शत्रुवर्गान् महेशः। ओम आकृष्णेन रसा वर्तमानो निवे शयन्नमृतं मर्त्यं च हिरण्ये सवितार्थेन देवो जातिगुणान् पश्यन्ना। अब आप लोग पीछे हो। देखना नहीं चाहिए।
ओम डाल दिए आखिर मैं गले में पहनूंगा मुझे ओम बनवा के दो मम्मी।
अंतरिक्षगुण शांति पृथ्वी शांतिरापः शांतिरोपदया शांतिरूपदया शांतिश्चेदेवा शांति।
One more on this side. One more.
राम नाम सत्य है 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 राम नाम सत्य है। हरि ओम। आइए सब लोग यहाँ पे नीचे आइएगा। आइए आइए सब लोग। जब भी हम आज से घर जाते हैं तो स्नान करके सावर लेके घर में जाना चाहिए। वो यहाँ पे संभव नहीं है, तो इसलिए गंगा जल के छींटा लेकर के मंत्र द्वारा शुद्ध होकर के जाएंगे। और हम लोग जितने भी यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं, घर में जा कर के सबसे पहले अपनी संपूर्ण वस्त्रों को सावर में इसमें वॉशिंग में डाल दें और खुद सावर ले लें और उसके बाद में साफ़ सुथरा कपड़ा पहनें। तो ये हमारी विधि विधान, ठीक है। जो भी हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे पहन करके आए कपड़े हैं वो सब धुलने में जाएंगे और हम लोग सावर करके घर